Welcome back, Lake listeners. Thank you for coming back for more of Season 3 with our Grow, Thrive, Inspire podcast. Today, we are excited to have another Community Spotlight episode highlighting an amazing business here at Lake of the Ozarks. This business continues to keep the community entertained and inspired. Here to share more about it is one of my very great longtime friends, the Director of Operations, Mary Kay Von Brindle. Mary Kay, thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to talk about you and all about the amphitheater and just everything that's going on over there.
Well, I greatly appreciate the opportunity, and why I always tell people my favorite thing to talk about is the Ozarks Amphitheater.
Yeah, I could imagine. I mean, you guys have so much going on. It's so exciting, so much fun. I know I worked there for a summer, had a blast. I mean, it's absolutely great what you guys have going on. So I'm excited for this episode and just, thank you for your time for being here. So where I want to start first is just you kind of telling our listeners just a little bit more about yourself and kind of where you found the passion to kind of get in this industry that you're in and do what you do.
Well, originally from Washington, Missouri. I think I've always had a passion for putting on events. I think if you would have asked my mother, she would have said that I got an early start. My 5th birthday, I called and invited all of my aunts and uncles and all of my cousins to come to my house and have cake and ice cream. My mother had no clue.
Oh, wow. So you were event planning early.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And I've got family history. My grandfather, actually from Washington, Missouri, was the mayor and bought the property that now has the Washington Town and Country Fair.
Oh, okay.
And my uncles actually got started with that, and they were the ones booking the talent and everything. So, I've kind of had a ringside seat pretty much for the rest of my entire life.
Wow, that's really cool. I didn't know that about you. So, yeah, no wonder why you're like in the amphitheater doing everything that you're doing. It makes sense. One thing I did want to touch on with you is in April, you won the Missouri Best 2020 Person of the Year Award. I remember seeing that when you posted it on Facebook, and I was so excited for you. So tell me what that was like.
I was in shock, to
bet.
be perfectly honest. Well, first of all, that Tom could keep a secret that long because they didn't have the 2020 event. It was, if nothing else, it was one of those things that kind of rejuvenate and re-inspire you.
I bet, yeah.
After last year, I, the best way to describe it was a virtual gut punch,
Yeah, I love that. I've never heard that before.
Everything was, kind of falling down around us. Shows were canceling right and left, and, not knowing what was going to happen in the industry. I mean, we were even nervous moving into this year, not knowing what ticket sales were going to look like. I mean, people had to unfortunately go through the refund process. Some people unfortunately found out that they had purchased their tickets from resellers and not directly from the venue. And,
so they couldn't get anything back,
Yeah, so, it was definitely a learning curve.
I can imagine. I know I was really, being such an avid fan of the amphitheater here at Lake of the Ozarks when we were going through all of that. I was really sad for you guys because I was looking forward to concerts again, and then all of that happened. But here we are in 2021, and you guys have just rocked it this year. I have been so excited for everything that you guys have come out with.
We're extremely blessed, and to say that it's very exciting to be on this side of it now because the phone's ringing the other way. So artists are talking to their agents and saying, find out what they've got available, what dates do they have open, and if our routing works, we really want to be there. And I've got to say, we've been really putting forth a very awesome experience for the artist also, to the point where the artist actually asked to come back before they leave.
Oh, good. Yeah, I love to hear that because you guys have had some great artists come, and that makes me excited that they loved it here and they want to come back. And just to switch to the amphitheater now, what are some things that our listeners probably don't know about the amphitheater?
Probably don't know. Well, if you're a newbie to the area, you don't know that the amphitheater itself was built in 1993. So it's almost 30 years old.
Yeah, I did not know that myself.
Yeah, it was built in 1993. Had two, what we like to call unfortunate false starts. The owner of the amphitheater, the principal owner, actually is from Colorado. And him and one of his partners, Robert, they ran merch and concessions for Red Rocks.
Oh, awesome.
For several years, about 11, I think. And because Red Rocks is owned by the state of Colorado, the city of Denver, all of their concessionaires, whatever, that all has to go out for contract bid. So Bill and Robert really got Red Rocks kind of got good footing. Bill was the first one to get a liquor license for
cool.
Red Rocks. And so, a liquor license and a music venue kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got to have a beer when you're going to a concert.
Right. So, it became wildly successful. Then when it went out for bid, Airmark came in, grossly underbid them, and so they lost their contracts. So, uniquely enough, Robert one night happened to be trolling the internet and saw that the amphitheater here in Camdenton was going up for auction. And Bill, because his family has been 5 generations in the tourism industry, knew the Blair family because they've been buying those cedar boxes and all of their locations in Denver, in Colorado, for 5 generations. And so he called the Blairs and asked, what's the scoop on this amphitheater? And so they gave him kind of the lowdown. Bill and the partners came to see it. Bill came back for the auction and said he was going to sit in that seat till he owned an amphitheater.
Wow, that's cool. I love that story. Is there anything that would help the amphitheater right now?
Oh, bodies.
Bodies need some help.
We always need help. But we've got a fantastic team of employees. I'm really proud of the team that we've built. We've got a lot of teachers and it's word of mouth. As you know, it is a great place to work.
It is, yes.
Everybody that's coming there is ready to have fun. And, and I'm saying it's a lot of fun. It's very fast paced. It's hard work, but everybody's there is having a great time.
Well, and I will say, in the summer that I had the privilege of working that new deck area, the party deck area, that bar there, everybody was so helpful. Even as a first-time person being there, everybody took the time to be like, you got to go up here and get stuff, or you got to go down there. And it was never, even though it was stressful, just like with the crowd and everything, it was never a bad experience working hand in hand together. So you guys do have great staff up there.
And we do really work hard at creating a team atmosphere.
Yeah, and I love that. Yeah, very much camaraderie and helpfulness. Yeah, that's great.
And I always tell all of my employees at orientation, you probably can't tell me like last week for any day what you had for lunch. But I can guarantee you can tell me what your first concert was, and probably who you went with. And girls, we probably could tell you what we wore.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
So we're helping our guests create memories that last a lifetime. And I think when you go into it with that kind of knowledge or thought base, I think you do help create a better atmosphere.
I agree. Wholeheartedly, I agree. So I get this question a lot when I was telling people that you were coming in to do the show. So I had to ask it. What challenges kind of come up when trying to plan for like the next season of shows? Can you give us like a daily day in the life of Mary Kay and just kind of how you guys get where you are having people come on board and doing shows and how that works?
We're already booking for 2022.
Awesome.
We already have shows scheduled for 2022. We usually start actively starting August and for the next year. And it's, we're still being very conservative. Somewhat, we are limited by space because of parking. So, we're kind of capped right now at 6,500.
Yeah.
Because that's about all the parking space that we have on property available to us. And that's one of the things too, when the property was sold multiple times, some of the property started to be parceled off.
Oh, okay.
So at one point when it was first built, it had enough parking capacity for over 10,000, but it no longer does. But, one of those things that we have to kind of work around. Anyway, one of the things that we find is rather beneficial for us is routing. So if we know if a band is going point A to point B and we somehow fit in the middle, where if they have a day off, they could just easily stop at us and pick up a date, that always works better for us financially.
Right.
The larger bands, I love asking people on Facebook who they'd like to see. I mean, it's very valuable information, and I work with all of that, and I create spreadsheets on all of that. But, some of the bands that people would like to see are just really right now out of our price range.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they're like skyrocketed out there, really popular. So, but I mean, you guys have had some great people come every single year. I've been blown away with some of the announcements. I'm like, what?
I've got to tell you. So ZZ Top, when I first got to see the venue and tour it in January of 2015, and Dustin and I were standing up at the top in the lawn seats, and you come through that gate and you get to see it from that top view, which is spectacular.
It is. It's beautiful.
and was standing there looking at it and thinking, who would be my top 5 to see on that stage? And this year we've got 2 of them. So ZZ Top, I think, is going to sound phenomenal on that stage.
I remember growing up as a kid and hearing my mom talk about all of those concerts and seeing them and just how great of a light show they put on and just everything. So it's probably one of those one in a lifetime experiences.
Yes.
So that's so cool. So getting to the shows that we have scheduled for this year, I know as a fan of the venue, I get so excited every year for the next lineup of shows. So it seems to have just exploded more and more each year, like I was saying. So can we do kind of a recap, like a quick rapid fire recap of some of the shows so far and just kind of what you thought or what your good takeaways were? So let's begin with the Missouri Symphony Orchestra.
You know, the first time we had them there at the venue, I said they were as magnificent as I ever imagined they could be. A 60-piece international orchestra on that stage was absolutely brilliant.
Well, the acoustics out there, I mean, I'm a sucker for an outdoor venue, so I'm sure the acoustics out there for that were just spectacular. So that's awesome. What about REO Speedwagon? I saw some footage on Facebook after that. I was so bummed I couldn't go to that one. So,
well, to have REO on stage, well, we were very fortunate that they were able to switch from 2020, same date, just moved to 2021. We were very excited about that opportunity. And then to have the opportunity to have CNN filming live at the venue.
Gosh, that was so cool.
And to have it seen by 50 million people or 50 million households worldwide was significant.
That's so awesome.
You know, and just what it's done for us and the growth potential that it's given us just for, you know, that one date, that exposure that we could have never paid for ever. Yeah. You know, so we were very blessed to have that fall into our laps. That was very exciting. The concert itself was exciting. The fireworks afterwards, Matt Sutcliffe from Premier Pyrotechnics, he does a phenomenal job.
I heard they were just fantastic. So
1 minute and 48 seconds worth of fireworks.
Wow, that's crazy when you break it down time frame wise.
They had it, or actually it was supposed to be 2 minutes. Well, they had it broken down completely by minutes because it was CNN and it was live, and they had to go cut at 10. So, the band went on a little longer than they had anticipated. So as soon as his last note, the fireworks started, and then it was over show-wise by 10 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. Wow.
It was great to be a part of it.
What about John Party?
Oh my God, that was so fun. I mean, honestly, I've got to tell you, to be honest, I never really get to see the concerts nor hear the concerts.
I know every time I've seen you at the venue, you're just, running around. So I'm sure.
And I've always got somebody talking in my ear. So, but the takeaway from it, because I'm usually out in the plaza thanking everybody for coming, because for me personally, that's very important because people chose to use their entertainment budget and spend it with us. So I think that it's very important to be out there and thank them for coming and invite them to come back. And you know, it's fun when you have concerts like that because everybody is on an all-time high. Everybody is singing, everybody is having a great time. You know, so it was a phenomenal concert. I mean, that was our largest concert to date.
Oh, wow, really? Wow. Yep. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Beach Boys?
Oh. Who doesn't love the Beach Boys? I mean, it just screams summer fun.
I know, really. I mean, honestly, I can't imagine that going any better. And yeah, we were talking about ZZ Top. So that was huge, right?
Yes.
Can't imagine that being any better either. I was really blown away by just how it didn't seem like any time had passed, the songs. You know,
and what's great about it too is like, being on my end of it and getting the phone calls and the messages through Facebook and getting to see some of the stories, with the people with the history.
I love that.
You know, to a certain song or to the band. And it's just great to be able to bring that opportunity for people to kind of either relive their youth or or a lot of people I'm finding are bringing their grandkids.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
which I think is so exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like let's include this. Let's make multi-generational. I know my kids, I exposed them to a myriad of music, and I'd be really excited to expose my grandkids to a myriad of music.
I have a very similar story. I mean, my favorite band is Rush, and I grew up with my family. I've seen them 6 times, and yeah, for sure, I get that. Shinedown. Haven't they been before?
No.
Okay.
Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
yes.
we've done stepping stones to be able to get them. Shinedown has been on Dustin's bucket list since the beginning.
Oh, I believe it.
So,
Knowing Dustin, I mean, Shinedown's going to be awesome.
He was over the moon when we got confirmation on that one.
Yeah, I can already see his face in my head. I know I was personally blown away with this announcement, but Kane Brown, yeah, that's so awesome. I know everybody, when the Facebook event went out, they were like, we can't wait to go to this. Skillet. And then we also have Matthew West, and that's more of like the crossover.
That's
music.
crossover.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that you guys are able to bring just different genres all the time to people's different interests. And I feel like crossover is such a huge thing for people in our area that they probably really appreciate that.
Well, and we very much appreciate crossover, because if it wouldn't have been for crossover, from what I'm understanding, because I'm originally not from here. But if it wouldn't have been for the Crossover Christian Music Festival that would come in every year, clean the venue up to have the festival, from what I'm understanding, the county at one time thought about bulldozing the amphitheater over and turning it into a subdivision.
Wow.
Just to help recoup some of the loss.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm glad that didn't happen.
Crossover kept us above ground.
Well, thank God for crossover. That's amazing.
So, yes, we're very happy to be partnering with them. And this will be their 4th year, I think.
Fourth year, yeah. So that was just kind of a rapid fire takeaway from you. Now we also have some big ones coming up still for the year. So September 3rd is Brantley Gilbert with Michael Ray and 641. September 4th is Hailstorm with The Who and Corey Marks. I'm excited for that one. September 5th is Dwight Yoakam again. And September 17th is Three Dog Night. And October 2nd, we have the Avett Brothers. So what are you most looking forward to with these upcoming shows? And can you give me any insight of maybe what some people could expect?
Well, I got to say, and it's probably would seem rather odd for me to say this one, but I'm really excited to see The Who.
Really?
With Hailstorm. If you've seen any of their YouTube videos, their instrumental is absolutely brilliant.
Oh, I have to look that up.
Yeah, they're amazing. And it's a Mongolian heavy metal band, which I never in my entire life would say that I liked heavy metal. But their instrumental is amazing.
That's so
cool. And it's kind of going to be kind of fun backstage, because from what I'm understanding at this point, they'll be traveling with a translator.
Wow, that's really neat.
Yeah,
that'll be really cool to interact and kind of get that experience. Wow.
And then, oh my gosh, to have Dwight Yoakam back on stage, he did such a great performance the first time he was there. And watching, I got to be backstage, on stage, when he did Guitars and Cadillacs.
Oh, yeah.
And he does his signature leg thing. To see the women just go crazy it was a blast.
Well, and I remember talking to Dustin a long time ago about how Dwight is just a very humble soul, too. Just a very nice guy, which I am so happy to hear. You know, because you want those, when you're a big fan, you know, you want your artists to just be the nicest people. Be awesome. So that's cool. So what is the best way for people wanting to attend the show to kind of access tickets or get involved with the amphitheater, just anything like that?
Well, the best way to get tickets is to go to either, if you live locally, to go to either Bridal Cave or Split Arrow Boutique.
Okay.
Split Arrow Boutique is strictly credit card, and then they send your tickets to your mobile device.
Oh, nice.
Bridal Cave, they will give you printed tickets, and you can pay with either cash or credit card.
Oh, okay.
There's no ticketing fees.
Oh, nice.
If you pay with a credit card, it's a $3 credit card processing fee. Otherwise, we've eliminated all the fees. Or you can also call our office.
Okay.
We're Monday through Friday, 10 to 4.
Oh, I'm glad that you guys still have that partnership with Bridal Cave, and I didn't realize that Split Arrow's now.
We just started that this year.
That's fantastic, and it's good for them too, I'm sure.
Right, exactly.
Are there any big plans for the amphitheater coming up next year?
Yes, we are going to institute once again. We didn't do it this year because we didn't really know what crowd participation would be like because of COVID. We are starting the Save Your Seat program. That'll be October 9th and 10th. And we're still working out all the finer details. But basically what it is you can come and test drive all the seats and decide which one you would like for the year.
Oh,
and you put $100 down for a seat, $250 down for a table, and you get first right of refusal for each concert.
That is awesome.
It helps eliminate a lot of the scalper activity that we've been running into, and I know frustrates as much the end user as it does us. And then also it eliminates you having to sit at your computer at 10 a.m. when tickets go on pre-sale trying to get in and buy your favorite seats.
Well, I'm excited for you guys that you're rolling that out. And I know listeners, don't go through that scalper process. Go to Bridal Cave or on the website even, or call the office instead, because it'll save you a ton of hassles. So
yeah.
I'm excited for that. That'll be really good for you
Good,
guys.
thank you.
Okay, so last question, just kind of another rapid fire. Just to get to know you a little bit more in the area. So where's your favorite place to go get a drink?
Oh, favorite place to go get a drink. Well, you can't beat the view from either Baxter's or JB Hook's, or I think one of Tom and my favorite hangs, we meet with a bunch of friends there, would of course be Bear Bottom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love Bear Bottom. I actually haven't been to Bear Bottom in a while. I need to go back over there. Okay, and then where is your favorite place to shop?
Favorite place to shop? Gosh, I don't get to do that a lot lately.
Me either.
Split Arrow Boutique is great. It's great fun. Otherwise, if I've got a couple of hours to kill, who doesn't love to go to Ross?
Oh, I love Ross. You can find everything at Ross.
I'm saying, but you have to go with a couple of hours to kill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you do, because I'll get lost in that store.
I love taking pictures of my shopping cart full and texting it to Tom going, this may be a bit.
I'm sure he loves that.
Oh, great.
Well, Mary Kay, we appreciate you coming and sharing so much about the amphitheater and all that you do. We are blessed to have you guys here and the amphitheater here at Lake of the Ozarks. Grow, Thrive, Inspire listeners, if you are interested in catching one of these awesome shows here, you can visit the Ozark Amphitheater website at ozarkamphitheater.com. Make sure to follow and view Ozark Amphitheater on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And to catch more of our awesome podcast, you can find us on all the same platforms and on 89.3 FM, Key Radio in Osage Beach. And remember to always grow, thrive, and inspire, and we'll catch you next time.